Hi, I'm Generic Demon, and this is Rebel Galaxy. I've been playing this for probably about 10 hours now, actually. I probably haven't done an awful lot either in it, but we'll continue anyway. Those of you old enough to remember will, well, to be fair, it's not even enough to be old enough nowadays. This is a variation on the Elite theme, but what works for me here is that it's an X and Y axis that you travel on, but you don't have that Z axis. It's more like you're traveling in some kind of freight vehicle. Reminds me an awful lot of the TV series Firefly. I think somebody spent a lot of time with that. If you listen to the music in the background that's currently playing, the tone is absolutely perfect. I can't think of anything better. Usual sort of stuff, though. I say usual. You'll see as we go into the game a bit. I'll do a few basic missions and have a little fly around. I think that's the easy way to do it. Usual things, though, your equipment bay. This is your sort of weapons, and because it's more naval, there's broadsides. So you've effectively got weapons on the edge of your vehicle or your spaceship. And as I say, these ships are sort of larger. The smaller ships fly around you, but the ship you're flying is sort of more of a freight cargo type of thing. So you've got broadsides, you've got secondary weapons, you've got turrets that are positioned around your ship. It is actually important to know where they are. On this particular ship, they're stuck on the sides and on the top. So when you're going to combat, pointing forward sometimes is better than sort of coming in at the side. But it's definitely worth bearing that kind of thing in mind. Defense, sort of you've got hulls, obviously you've got shields, and you've got deflectors, and deflectors slightly different here with this. This is something you can activate during combat, and it'll absorb damage, which is a different feature. It's not the usual sort of shield or sort of regen type thing. Don't think I've actually seen anybody use something called a deflector anyway. Component wise, we've got sort of your engines, your boost to go faster, your warp drive itself to fly faster between places, cargo holds, pretty standard stuff. Tractor beam, jump engines to allow you to move between systems, subsystems, which are sort of general type of things like repair bots. In this particular case, I've got a fault tracker on here, and as I say, I'm about 10 hours into this game, and I still don't think I've entirely scratched the surface of the whole thing. Shipyard, these are the ships that are available to me. The first one you start with is this little thing, and although very, very quick, it's very underpowered as you go along. You discover that. So, but you've got different vehicles and different factions that you can work from, and these allow you to buy vehicles and other things that you might not necessarily have. So shipyard, commodities. This one I think's a bit hit and missy. It's nice. There's some nice touches in here. I mean, it amuses me with things like Narco-Cola, where it's cheaper to actually have illegal drugs with Coca-Cola than it is to drink pure water. There's some nice little touches like that within the sort of commodity market. But the problem is there's not a big enough supply really. So trading is one of the things that bizarrely is very well managed, but doesn't really come across in Rebel Galaxy. Mission boards are very typical, sort of, what can we do? So we'll take some low risks one because I'm a wimp, unfortunately. So this is a simple, transport 7 cargo for the Merchants Guild to another station within the sector. So we'll take that one. If we go back, we've got a mission log here. These are the sort of main storylines that I've still got to do, and this is the mission log. It's the mission I've got, so I'm going to set that as my primary. And then you've got things like the bar, which again I've got. If you talk to the bartender, he'll give you.
Take a seat, friend. What's on your mind?
And they've all got individual personalities. I really like this. I quite like the voice acting within this. There's certain characters and aliens have got a very, I hate to say, Star Warsy type feel to them. It's quite nice actually. They don't all speak English. Sometimes you have to read the subtitles, which is nice. But if you ask him about bounties, he'll tell you about things that are out there and what's good on the market and all the sort of the usual sort of things that you'd expect the bartender to be able to tell you. News board, what's going on in the sector. Hire a mercenary, and actually, to be fair, I'm going to add this guy to my flight crew because he's quite handy.
Name's Garrus. I hear you're looking for someone who can fly. That the case?
Yep, it is. I'm just definitely taking you.
Good to be working with you, kid.
And these
Explore
mercenaries,
this joint.
the mercenaries just fly with you permanently until they have to eject because their ships are destroyed, which is it's quite nice. Oh dear. That'll be my microphone taking a flying leap off the side there. Right, okay, that's better. No, we picked it up. Okay, and then it's depart station, usual things. Okay. Ships there, no internal cockpit views, which is quite nice.
You just give the word.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Garrus. If you look at the map in the corner, the mini-map in the corner, you can see the highlighted mission there is Garrus. Hello, Garrus. Right, okay, and let's accelerate up.
Engines at maximum.
And the engines power up. And away we go. Now, you can...
Accelerating to sublight.
Yes, I know we're accelerating to sublight. You can fire your secondary weapons with the X button. There's a few things. The command menu is quite simple. I'm going to clear the waypoint I had on there. If I have a quick look at the map.
Stellar map.
You can zoom right in on the detail of the places that you've been through, and it's quite good because I'm told that it's all procedurally generated, so everywhere you go is slightly different. Red obviously is bad, so these are the usual thing. You end up being unfriendly to the pirates, which is a bit sad really, because I you know, they're not always. They sometimes have the better equipment, but anyway. And then we've got a sector map, which again randomly generated, so it's quite big. It's big enough. I mean, this is a 15 quid game effectively on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, so it's not bad. Okay, so we'll fire up the engines and engage the warp. And away we go. And I quite like along the way, you know, you can change the direction you go. And here we go. Let's play with these bombers. And you do feel a bit of a badass once you've actually got a big ship, because there's a deflector on, absorbing the missiles. And if you notice that I'm just pounding my way through this, and Garrus is here helping out, but he won't be doing an awful lot. There's militants over there. And he's not going to last long. These old little fighters and things are just... don't take an awful lot of killing. There we go. I didn't even involve myself really. A few shots fired because the turrets are all automatic, which is quite nice. Or you can change them with the sort of up and down. But I pretend to let the turrets do their own thing. You can pre-program them within the sort of the menus to do what you want. Aim at particular fighters, aim at what you're aiming at, or aim at all enemy craft within the sector. There we go. There's a unidentified signal. Let's have a little look at this. I like this because there's lots of little things you can do, and trips aren't very long. It's not like Elite, and because it's single player, we'll fire up the boosters. Because it's single player as well, you know you can pause it, you can do whatever you like, which is quite important for me. But I'll give it a quick pulse. This shows us what's the surrounding area. Nothing's coming up particularly. There's an unidentified signal. It could just be cargo here. Well, we'll have a look again. Scan. Let's power down. Ooh, transponder.
Full stop.
Now, these tend to have, when you hack into them, assuming I can get into it. There we go. A set of drop-in coordinates, which is quite handy because you sometimes find all kinds of things like weapons and additional things for your ship. So we got that. Great. Let's power it back up again. I mean, you can spin around the ship again. I love looking at the ships. I think they're great.
Engines at maximum.
It seems awful. When I first put the game on, I thought, oh, it's awfully sedate, the kind of speed that you move around at and you circle. But actually, when it comes down to it, it's not. It's enough, and it's quick enough that the action's always sort of flowing. You don't feel. You can feel a little overwhelmed sometimes. There we go. And there's some bigger ships there underneath the thing. Let's pause that. With the big thing. Lock on. And let's use some broadside missed weapons. Let's start a command carrier. assault frigate.
Inbound.
Give him some missiles to the side. And you see, I let the fighters get dealt with by my own turrets. I don't actually do anything else, and my other guys out there doing things. There's plenty going on, but you know, it's all about the big ships against big ships, and as I say, it's broadside weapons firing across the way, across the bows. Oh, come on. Let's get him in range.
Missiles inbound.
Oh, give him some homing missiles. Go for it. Deflector on. Fire.
That's got him.
Missiles inbound.
The more you angle them, the better it is in the long run. There we go.
Missiles
Come on.
inbound.
Oh, he's down. Excellent. See what's left.
Target locked.
This won't take long. You see the turrets firing on their own. Swing it round, and we'll fire some more broadsides at them. Oh, he's down.
Received. Target destroyed.
And we'll have that cargo while we're at it.
Collision warning.
And we go.
Accelerating to sublight.
You can also program what the mercenary does. I mean, he's just sent out there to shoot everything down. He's more, to be fair, I use him more as something to sort of collide with things.
Time to fry.
Oh dear. There's an invasion fleet on the way here.
Exiting sublight.
That's time to fly. It's time to land. I'm gonna rush.
Level red.
Oh, and it's one of the things about this game is that it suggests that running is not a bad option on occasions. Let's dock.
Mission complete.
I could do with a better docking sequence than that, though. That's one of the few things. So let's just do this. So refill the weapons I used. Who's in the bar? Oh, Juno. That's it. That's your aunt who you're looking for. It's interesting that actually that she's there. Anyway, but this is sort of a one-off brief tester of the sort of sort of taster of the mission that's involved, the missions that are involved. I have to admit, I've really enjoyed playing Rebel Galaxy, and I'd recommend it. The missions take, 5-10 minutes to go from one side to the other, which is just perfect. It's casual enough, but at the same time, it's there's enough depth there for anybody to enjoy. Anyway, this has been Generic Demon. See you later.